Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is March 2nd. I can't believe I'm even saying it's March already. 2015 is going pretty quick, but it's right around 5:30 p.m. right now. About to hit the gym for a push day. Figured I'd take you guys along with me and gonna mix up some pre-workout here using My Pre by My Protein. Links are in the description box below if you're interested in trying this out. I'm gonna go with the lemon lime flavor, which is my go-to right now. I've been really liking this flavor, and you guys have seen the color of this. It looks pretty badass, so I'll mix it up and show you what that looks like. All right, welcome back, everybody. We are in the gym for a push day, starting out with some warm-ups, and throughout this video, I'm going to give you guys some different tips that I like to use, some different exercises, and hopefully you get something out of this one. So we're starting out with some warm-ups and mobility, doing shoulder or band dislocations to help out with some shoulder flexibility, mobility, and these can be done with a broomstick or a dowel, or I like to use a mini band as it has a lot more elasticity to it. But what's really important is that you're maintaining a neutral spine and a tight core. This is how you don't want to be performing the exercise. You can see that I'm overarching my lower back and hyperextending, and that's due to a lack of mobility. So if you're not capable of bringing your arms over your head and around your back without hyperextending your lower back, you just have to work on it a little bit more. Try grabbing wider on the band or the broomstick, whatever you're using, and it's just a process like everything else. You have to get better at it. You have to get more flexible. Don't just jump into that. And some people even advise not doing this exercise at all because the end range of what's known as the dislocation or going behind your back can be potentially dangerous. So it's not something I'm telling you to do. I'm just showing you what I like to do for my warm-ups. All right, next up is a very basic exercise, a shoulder external rotation, which can be done on the pulley system right behind me, but just in case someone's using the cables, I'm showing you how you can do it with a band. Now to execute this, just keep your elbow and forearm close to your body, which mine could have been a lot closer here, but you're pulling the attachment away from your body as far as possible while externally rotating your shoulder. And this is what you often see people do to increase the range of motion. They increase the distance between their elbow and the side of their body, and different muscles start taking over. So really you want to try and keep that elbow tucked in and just focus on external rotation of the shoulder. All right, and lastly, I don't really have a name for these, but you're just taking a band, setting it up on a high attachment, and getting your elbow inside that band to really stretch out through shoulder extension, get that lat stretched out, get that shoulder stretched out, and then turn your arm over and focus on, again, just really stretching out the front part of your shoulder. And I really like to do this before my pressing exercises and feel like it helps a lot. All right, first exercise I'm performing here is the incline dumbbell bench press. And a lot of times you'll see the incline set way too high and you'll actually be incorporating a lot of your front delt. So I like to set it on a lower setting right around 30 degrees, somewhere between 30 and 45 degrees seems to be the sweet spot to really activate your upper chest and try and minimize the amount of shoulder involvement, although your shoulders are still going to be hit no matter what. So I always like to start out with 1 to 2 warm-up sets. And guys, remember that a warm-up set is simply that, to warm you up, and it shouldn't be interfering with your actual working set. So don't overdo it, but make sure you're properly warming up to get yourself ready for your actual working sets. So once you feel nice and warmed up, the hoodie comes off and that's when shit gets real. So we're moving into our working sets here. We have 4 sets of anywhere from 10 to 12 reps. And a few reasons I really like dumbbells. Well, first of all, my shirt's tucked in, so I just lost about 10 style points right there. But anyway, you can see that my elbows are slightly tucked in to take some stress off of my shoulders. I'm getting a full stretch at the bottom of the movement and also a full contraction at the top of the movement. So I really like dumbbells for the fact that you have a very large range of motion and you're also able to manipulate your elbow angle a little bit better, which is something that people struggle to do on the barbell bench press. So I'm not saying dumbbell should replace barbell or that barbell is inferior or superior. I think you should incorporate both of them, but the dumbbell does allow for a greater range of motion. Next up was seated dumbbell shoulder press, going for 4 sets, anywhere from 6 to 8 reps. So a little bit of a lower rep range, and that's just because we have some more pressing later on in the workout. But what I want to emphasize here again is getting that full range of motion. a lot of people stop short at 90 degrees and then they complain that their elbows hurt. The reason is because if you stop short with all of that weight in your hand, your elbow's absorbing a lot of the stress from the weight. So make sure you're bringing those elbows down, getting that full range of motion, and you'll probably feel a lot less pain there.
Help me out. Thank you.
So I was really only able to grind out 5 quality reps, which I'm cool with as long as I was doing the work and my spotter wasn't lifting the weight for me. So after that, we hit the decline hammer strength chest press machine, and I started warming up with 1 plate, then 2 plates, and then I moved into a triple drop set, which you might have seen me do last week as well, but I'll just let the clip play. If you don't want to hear grunting or breathing or anything like that, just turn your volume down. I know some people complain about that, but that's raw footage for you. Doesn't matter if you squat, bench, or deadlift 500 pounds, re-rack your weights. Where they belong. Next up is some accessory work, and what you see me doing here is a single arm cable chest fly, and 2 reasons I really like this movement. One is because I'm a huge fan of cables as they place constant tension on your muscles throughout the entire range of motion, and 2, it allows for a greater range of motion. So as I've mentioned in previous videos, one of the major functions of your pecs is adduction of the arm, so bringing your arm closer to the midline or sagittal plane of your body. And oftentimes when people do dumbbell flies or pec deck or even cable flies with 2 arms, this will be the end range of motion. And not to say that's a bad thing, but I think you could squeeze a little bit more out of that by bringing your humerus further across your body and getting that full range of motion with 1 arm. But the one thing to keep in mind is not to compensate for range of motion by rotating your upper body. So keep your upper body as still as possible and really just focus on contracting the chest as hard as you can. All right, next up was some dumbbell lateral raises, and I was doing 3 sets of 25 reps. So yes, that is 75 reps total. Sounds like a ton of volume, but I've just noticed that personally, my shoulders tend to respond better to higher volume work when doing these isolation movements. So if you're having trouble bringing up your side delts, I definitely recommend going either higher volume or incorporating some drop sets and really getting those muscles fatigued. So you'll notice that as I get later on in the set, form starts to, I wouldn't say break down, but I start to include a bit more momentum momentum to get the weight up. But you'll notice that's what I consider controlled cheating. My form is still good, but I'm allowing myself to rock a little bit to help get through the reps. All right, moving on to triceps. This is actually a drop set that I picked up from Ben Pakulski, and what I really like about this is you don't have to change the weight at all to make the exercise more challenging. So you'll notice I'm starting far away from the pulley, and what this is doing is making the exercise harder at the end range of the movement. So all you're doing to make this exercise more difficult is changing the angle of pull. So what I mean by that is if you take a look here, my forearm and the cables are pretty much in a straight line. So right now there's no tension being placed on my tricep. As I pull that weight down, it gets harder and harder towards the end range of the movement to where my forearm is pretty much at a 90-degree angle with the cable. So the further away you are from the stack, the harder the end range or the extension is. And as you move closer and closer, the angle changes and it makes it easier at the end range and harder at the beginning of the movement. So as you can see, the closer I get to the stack, the shorter the distance is between my forearm and the cable, making it easier at the end range of the movement. So that's just a different way you can manipulate certain exercises without having to change the weight, but you can make it more challenging by changing the angle. So finishing off triceps, I hit some overhead rope extensions. Now this is gonna be great to target the long head of the triceps, something that doesn't get hit too often unless your shoulders are in extension. So this movement or something like a skull crusher is great to make sure that you are hitting all three heads of the tricep during your pushing exercises. And I decided to finish off this push workout with a burnout set of some push-ups. So that's gonna end this commentary here. Thank you guys as always for watching, and I will talk to you all in the next clip. All right, so just got home from the gym, about to have myself a quick protein shake. We're just gonna go with some water, and then about an hour, we're gonna have a little meal. So we're using the My Protein brand protein powder. This is the chocolate mint flavor, probably my favorite flavor that they have by far. So we're gonna go with a scoop of this so we can get it open. And if you guys are interested in any of the My Protein products, whether it be clothing, protein powder, pre-workout, the links are in the description of this video, along with my discount code to save you guys 10 and 15%. So that's the end of the video. Thank you guys as always for watching. I appreciate it. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to click that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you all in the next video. In case you missed my last video of my dad and I training together, it's playing right there on the screen for you. Go ahead and click it. It will open up in a new window. If you want to join my free VIP list or apply for online coaching, you could do so right here on this screen. And don't forget to subscribe before you go if you haven't already. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll talk to you all in the next video.